DreAllDay.com.
You're now tuned in to the best of the best. I say that every time, don't I? That's because the best is the best every time. This is the show where you show up, you learn to show up day after day to do the work, the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically. That first one is the discipline to show up. Second one is the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically. And third, the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there, even when the success you've expected to achieve is yet to be achieved. And oh yeah, we can give you one more. The fourth one is a personal initiative to go make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. We put all this together for you, and what comes out in you, in your life, is the mindset, the method, the book, the podcast, known as Work on Your Game. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day. Welcome to the show. Today's topic is the slow progression of success. This is a very unsexy topic. This is not a hack to quick success. This is not 3 things you can do to become a success by tomorrow. This is not 10 ways that you can fast forward your success by the end of the week. This is the slow progression of success. This is the true reality of how success is created. And I don't even like to use that word reality too much because it gets thrown around in too much of a negative way these days. People usually use reality. They're telling you to tamp down your ambitions. But I'm telling you here today, the reality of creating success, how success really happens for the most part, for most people in most situations, how most of your success has happened to this point in your life, and how most of your success is happening now, most of your success will happen in the future. It's going to be a slow burn. It's a slow boil in how it happens. See, most success that's created by anyone, you or anyone else, is a stream of slow progressions that are made over time. See, it's not this big bang theory of everything just changing at once. Success requires a lot of discipline, a lot of mental toughness, and today we're going to talk about that discipline and that mental toughness, how you create it, how you make it happen, and how you put it to work in your life. So let's get right into it, shall we? Point number 1. Today's topic again is the slow progressions of success. Number 1, you don't need to hit a home run every single day in your work, in your business, in your life. Discipline yourself to hit singles, so to speak. Everybody here understands how baseball and softball work, right? You know, in baseball or in softball, one swing, a home run, the ball goes over the fence, you automatically get a run on the scoreboard, or a point, for those of you who don't understand the lingo of how baseball and softball work. That's the home run. One swing is the big bang play, is like the slam dunk of baseball. Everybody gets all excited. Man, what a big deal, that home run that you hit. Now, when you hit a single, it's not very exciting. The singles like making a layup, right? You got a breakaway, you just make a layup instead of dunking the ball. Understand that creating success in life on a day-to-day basis, most of the time you're not going to be hitting home runs. Even if you're trying to hit home runs every day, you end up striking out more times than you hit the home run. Success over a long time is just a whole bunch of singles that you hit, and every once in a while the home runs happen. Writing a book, you don't need to write the whole 50,000 words of the book in 3 days, right? How about you write 500 words a day for 100 days? Can you do that? I don't know how many of you could write 50,000 words in 3 days, but I think everybody listening to this can write 500 words in 100 days. You can't work on your game for 10,000 hours in one workout. You know, athletes like to talk about this 10,000 hour rule. Do I really need to put in 10,000 hours to be a success? And not just athletes, but any type of performer, anybody who wants to be great at one particular thing. You've heard that you need to put in 10,000 hours of dedicated practice to be good at it. Can you put in 10,000 hours in one day? I don't think the laws of physics will allow it. I think we only got 24 hours in a day. So can you train for 1 hour 10,000 times? I think you can do that. I think you got a better chance of doing that than doing 10,000 hours in one shot, right? And understand that you're not failing if you're not hitting home runs. And this is something that when people are first starting out, and even when they get into doing their thing, maybe you've hit several singles, maybe you failed to hit some singles, maybe you flied out a couple times, grounded out, struck out a few times, you're hitting singles, and the singles are adding up, but it's just not adding up fast enough for you. So you start looking around and you see all these other people who are advertising and marketing and promoting themselves and telling you how many home runs that they're hitting. So you start to think that you must be doing something wrong since you're not hitting as many home runs as everybody else. because that's kind of what sells these days. Is the more you can advertise and tell people and get them to believe that everything you do is just a home run, it's just smacking out of the park, that everyone's going to want to follow you. Everybody's going to think, wow, look how successful he or she is. Man, I got to follow this person's process. I got to buy this person's product, because they're telling you about all the home runs that they're hitting. Most people are not hitting home run. It's successful people are not hitting home runs every single day. They're hitting singles every day, and they're just letting them slowly add up. This is the discipline. This is the discipline of being a professional. This is the discipline of building your game, any game that you happen to be in. And this is why every day when I open this podcast, the first thing I mention is the discipline of showing up every single day to do the work. Because if all it was just hitting the home runs, you don't have to show up every single day. You could show up once a week and hit a home run and you're good. But it's showing up every single day that separates the pros from the amateurs. The question is, which one do you want to be? You're not failing if you're not hitting the home runs. Getting a little bit better each day. Think about it. This is how plants grow. This is how animals grow. And humans are animals. This is how we grew. Think about yourself. From the day you were born till today, you didn't just grow. You didn't grow 1 foot in one day. All right, you might have had a little growth spurt somewhere in there. But overall, it's a slow progression. Every single day, you got a little bit older, a little bit stronger, a little bit smarter, hopefully. If you listen to this podcast, you're getting smarter every single day. You're getting mentally stronger every single day. If you go to the gym on a consistent basis, you get stronger every single day over time. It's not like you're gonna have all these muscles popping out just because you went to the gym once and you decide to lift every weight and do every lift you ever heard of in one workout. It doesn't happen that way. And it would be ridiculous for any of us to even think for that to happen. But then we look at the way that we're building our business, building our gains, building our track record of success, and we're wondering why the home runs aren't happening immediately. Understand that it all works the same way. All plant and animal life grows by getting a little bit better every single day. Think about how buildings are built. Any of you who follows me on Instagram, you know I show you the story of these buildings being built. They don't just pop up one day. One day is an empty lot, and the next day you got a 70-story building. It's not the way it works. Every single day, everybody doing their job, just one day at a time, and that's the way things get built. Everything follows this formula. It is not sexy. It is not exciting. It may not even get you that motivated or fired up. Hopefully it does, but this is the way that it works. Whether you're excited about it or not, this is the way that it works. So you are subject to your own opinion. You are not subject to your own facts. Point number 2. Today's topic is the slow progressions of success. You need to have a plan. If you want to follow the slow progression of success, you need a plan for creating that success. If you're going to hit the singles consistently every single day, you need to have some kind of plan, some type of strategy in place for how you're going to keep creating slow progressions. It's not just going to happen just because. I told you many episodes back, and I mentioned it many times since, that puberty is the only part of your life in which you will grow involuntarily without trying, without thinking about it, without trying, without a strategy, without a plan. Even if you don't want to, you're going to grow during the period of puberty. You're going to get taller. Your bones are going to get more calcified. You're going to get stronger. Then you're going to get to a point somewhere between ages, 18 and 25, where that's over and you're pretty much who you are. The only way you grow any more from that point forward is by choice. So if you're going to get any better, and I'm talking mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, financially, there needs to be some type of strategy or plan in place. And your plan, understand that this plan that you make, for those of you who don't have a plan, and maybe you're a little bit spooked by the idea of having one, your plan does not need to be a perfect plan. And it probably will not be a perfect plan, at least at first when you get started. What you have to do is implement your plan. Come up with one first of all. That's the first step. Then implement the plan, meaning start to work the plan. Then observe, see what's working, see what's not working in your plan. And you have to implement your plan for long enough to see what's working or not. Give it some time. Be patient, be disciplined, and work the plan that you set up long enough that you can observe and see what's happening and what's not happening. Learn what's working and what's not working. Learn, hey, I should have did it this way. Maybe I should try it this way. Maybe there's nothing wrong with the plan. Maybe I'm just not executing. Learn and then adapt. Okay, let me change this little part right here. Or let me switch parts 2 and 3 and change the order of them. Or let me stop doing this thing but start doing this thing. Let me change this part right here. Let me implement this plan this way instead of doing it this way. Just a small tweak. These are the adaptations that you make. And over time, your plan is going to become more and more correct, so to speak. Now again, this is how everything works. Slow, steady, progressive progress. Progressive progress. Is that a phrase? When you have a plan, even a bad plan, ladies and gentlemen, you can see what parts are working and what parts are not working. Then you can adjust. But if you don't have a plan, how can you see what's working? How can you see what's not working? How can you make adaptations if you don't even have a plan in place? If you're just out there running around just doing things, then yeah, you can trust your short-term or long-term memory. Oh, you know what? I did this thing 2 weeks ago, so let me do it this way this week. If you have a plan, then you can look at it strategically and say, okay, if I move this piece here and this piece here, then eventually you got a plan that really works. You can share that plan with somebody else. You can duplicate that plan by applying it to something else you do. You can show someone else how to duplicate your success. That way you become an expert maybe in their eyes, and you can give them something that's going to be of value to them, and they'll be willing to give you value in exchange back. But if you don't have a plan, if you don't even know what you're doing, if you don't have any strategy to how you're doing things, you probably, number one, may not be able to create success at all. And number two, if you are lucky enough and or skilled or talented enough to create success even without a plan, you may find it difficult to replicate that success because you don't even know what the strategy was for creating it in the first place. And number three, you can't show anyone else how to do it because you didn't have a plan in the first place. You were just flying by the seat of your pants. Therefore, no one can join your team and do the same thing that you're doing. You can't give value to many other people to show them how you did it because you didn't have a plan in the first place. And if your plan happens to not work, then you don't even know what to adjust because you don't even know what the plan was. You were just running around doing things. So now out of the 10 different things you did, you don't know which one was working and which one wasn't. You don't know which part to tweak, which part to delete, which part to add to, which part to keep doing the exact same way because there was never a plan in place in the first place. So that's why you need to have a plan. Point number 3, today's topic is the slow progressions of success. While you're on this path of slow progressions of success, and listen, we're all on this path. Well, actually, that's not true. If you're headed towards success, you are on a plan of slow progressions towards success. There may be some home runs happening right now in your life. There may be some strikeouts, or you may be somewhere in the middle, right? No matter where you are, as long as you're headed towards success and personal growth and getting better, make sure you avoid the shiny object syndrome because this takes us off our path. All right, this gets us looking out into the stands when we should be looking at the ball, right? If any of you ever played baseball or softball, right? When the ball is being pitched to you by the pitcher, you probably want to be looking at the ball so you can hit it, right? You can tell, all right, should I swing at this one or should I not swing at this one? It'd be pretty hard to hit the ball if you weren't looking at it. All right, in basketball, we have no-look passes and things like that, and sometimes a player can shoot a layup without really looking at the rim and still make it. In baseball, I've never seen a player hit a home run or even a single when they weren't looking at the ball at the time they actually swung the bat. I don't think that happens. I don't know if anyone that talented has come along just yet. So you got to avoid the shiny object syndrome, which takes your eyes off of the ball and gets you not paying attention to the right things, therefore striking out every time while you're trying to look at the shiny objects. The Instagram post of a person smiling on the beach and tells you, hey, I was struggling and nothing was working for me, and now here I am 3 days later waking up and making $748 since going to sleep last night. Don't be distracted by the shiny object syndrome or any version of that little caption that I just gave you. All right, so don't be distracted by someone telling you I got a shortcut for it, or here's how you're guaranteed to hit a home run. You just follow this process right here. You can have all the success that I am showing you in this post that I'm posting here on social media for everybody to see, and I'm paying to have boosted to make sure more and more people see it. All you got to do is sign up for my online course. Listen, don't be distracted by the shiny objects. Don't be distracted by the call of an easy home run. There's no such thing. I want you to listen to something that I'm going to tell you here. It can and does happen that people hit home runs. Home runs do happen. Anyone listening to this, if you've been plugging away and putting the work in for a considerable amount of time at what you do, you probably have some home runs under your belt. All right, baseball players hit home runs. Even the best players hit a whole lot of home runs. So if you look at the number of games on the schedule, look at the number of home runs that get hit, you notice that it's not every single game. Understand there's a process to creating a home run. Many salespeople don't push the idea of process because it doesn't allude to the human laziness and a pull of overnight success, which are what move people to action. So I'm really giving you some counterintuitive ideas here based on human nature. Human nature is drawn way more to someone saying, look, if you just do this, you can become successful very quickly with very little effort, as opposed to what I'm saying right here, which is there's a slow progression of success. There's a little bit of work you do or a little bit of progress you make every day by showing up and doing that work, whatever that work happens to be. This idea doesn't really sell. Now, if you put this at the top of a sales page, that product's not going to sell as well as the person who says, listen, you can get a whole lot of results in a short period of time. That just works better in sales simply because us as human beings, we're looking for the shortcut. All right, we want success to come quickly, and we want it to come with as little effort as possible. But we all know, those of you who are work on your game listeners, and you understand and have been applying this philosophy, you understand that success doesn't come quickly and it doesn't come without effort. When we really think about it, logically, rationally, we know that. Our lizard brains, as Stephen Pressfield likes to call it, they don't pay attention to that. Our lizard brains is just looking for the shortest, easiest route to get to the success. So the problem is the shortest, easiest route to the success is not the easiest route to success for us. It's the easiest route to success for the person who's selling us the wolf ticket of how to become successful quickly. All right, and we don't realize that we're the suckers in the room till after they got our money. After they got our attention, stole our most precious resource, time from us, paying attention to what they're talking about, what they claim to be able to do, and we don't realize until it's too late that we're the sucker at the table. First rule of economics, ladies and gentlemen. I learned this in economics class in college. The only thing I remember from this economics, I took it in the summer between my sophomore and junior years of college. I took a summer session. Any of you ever took summer classes at a college, you know those classes are like 2.5 hours long each class. So this economics professor, I forget the guy's name, really nice, pleasant guy, but he would always repeat, he said this many times, the first rule of economics, if you don't know it, write it down, there is no such thing as a free lunch. There is no such thing as overnight success. There's no such thing as getting something for nothing. If someone told you that you can get it, all you got to do is pay attention to them or buy into what they're selling. Repeat to yourself the first rule of economics. There is no such thing as a free lunch. You can have success. You can have lunch. Listen, lunch does exist. It's just not a free lunch. All right, you got to put the time in to get it. You can have a tall building, but you got to lay the concrete. This is just how success works. Again, most people are not going to sell you this idea. This episode right here is not going to go viral. All right, I'll tell you that right now. Out of all the episodes on this podcast, this is the one that has the least opportunity to go viral simply because this is not appealing to human nature. Human nature wants the quick and easy thing. I'm here to tell you a counterintuitive idea, but it is the most practical idea that the quick and easy thing does not exist, at least when it comes to creating something that lasts, something that matters. The success that everyone who listens to a podcast called Work on Your Game, I would assume, is after. So let's recap today's topic, which is the slow progressions of success. Understand that most success is just a stream of slow progress that is made over time consistently. It is not some big bang theory of everything changing at once. It requires a lot of discipline and a lot of mental toughness because everything's not always going to be flowing smoothly and working for you as you want it to. And today we're talking about that. Point number one, you don't need to hit a home run every day. You probably can't hit a home run every day, even if you try. So discipline yourself for the slow progress every single day. Sometimes the strikeouts happen, sometimes the home runs will happen. You probably couldn't write a 50,000 word book in one day, but you could write 500 words a day for 100 days. You probably couldn't work on your game for 10,000 hours straight in a workout, but you could work out for 1 hour 10,000 times over the course of, who knows what, 10, 15, or 20 years. And you're not failing if you're not hitting home runs. Like getting a little bit better each day. This is how plants grow. This is how your pets grow. This is how human beings grow. It's how buildings are built. This is how movies are filmed. This is how reputations are built. Everything follows this formula. Point number two, have a plan. Your plan does not need to be perfect, and it won't be perfect at first, because if you haven't done the thing before, there's no way you're going to make a perfect plan from the beginning. But implement your plan, observe what's happening, learn what's going on, and make an adaptation. This is how everything works. Slow, steady progress. When you have a plan, even if it's a bad plan, you can see what's working and what's not, and then you make your adjustments. Point number three, avoid the shiny object syndrome. Someone posting on social media, hey, I was struggling and nothing was working. Now here I am and all these amazing things are happening with just a snap of a finger. You can get the exact same things I can get. Don't fall into the trap. Everybody remember that, yes, it can and does happen that home runs get hit, but there's a process to hitting home runs, getting good at hitting home runs. Many salespeople or sales pages aren't going to push the idea of slow progress because it does not allude to the human laziness and a pull of overnight success that all of us by nature are looking for and attracted to. But understand, the only sucker at the table is the one who buys into that. The first rule of economics is there is no such thing as a free lunch. Yes, you can have lunch, but you got to put the time in to get the lunch. You can have a tall building, but you got to lay the concrete. That's the way things work. Let's talk about what's going on in the game group. In the business section of the game group, we're laying the foundations of that. How do you actually build your brand? How do you establish what your brand is, what your brand represents, who exactly your brand is for, and who will want to buy into this brand? These are all things that you need to establish through your consistent efforts, whether that's through the content that you're putting out. If it's going to be online, of course it's going to be content you're putting out, the messages that you're sharing with your audience. In the basketball section, you want to build a skill set in basketball. You want to get yourself from playing in middle school or high school or college to the next level, whatever that next level may be. You got to build your skill set strategically, and it starts by laying the foundation of fundamentals, which are not sexy. They are often not share worthy or social media worthy, but they are necessary to be done, because if you don't have them, then you'll never get to that next level where you can perform for higher stakes and for a higher reward. So in the game group, a lot of what we talk about there is strategically about building that foundation, which again isn't sexy, it isn't exciting, but it's the foundation. That foundation is necessary. The fundamentals are necessary for any success that you're going to create in life. So any of you who's willing to buckle down and do the work, showing up every single day to do the work and having a strategy in place, that's what I'm going to provide you, that's leading to a particular result. That's another thing that we're focused on in the game group. Two things, strategies and results. Then that's the place for you to be. And the game group, again, is at dreallday.com/membership. We do have the forum open now where you can ask me any question. You're going to get detailed answers. You're going to get links to specific episodes of this podcast, the videos, articles of mine that answer your question. I am always active in the game group, always active in the forum. So if you want to be coached directly by me with strategies that lead to particular results, that is the place to do it. Again, that's the game group at dreallday.com/membership. Work on your game. Dre all day.